to everybody out there. Just a very quick rash on my legs. But we're busy. I've been busy doing conferences in Ghana, taking conferences, and so I've been busy with that. My wife's busy with youth work and children's work. We've got some camps coming up for youth camps and things like that. So been busy with that. So if you've not seen any street preaching videos, that's the reason why. I've just reporting in Wales the lockdown for COVID-19. They've even gone. The government there has gone into the supermarkets and told you can't buy certain things in the supermarket. And there's been a word bandied around the last few months called the new normal. And basically, there are people. So they want to. The globalists want to tell us who we can see, what we can buy, where we can go, and basically live in a state of complete 1984 control, where we're controlled in every movement. And it's now or never, folks. You either got to push back against this. In Australia, you've got to push back hard against these COVID-19 rules. You've got to push back in Britain. Britain is being controlled like nothing. And if you don't push back now, if you do not push back, if British people do not shake themselves from this lethargy of being controlled about COVID-19, lockdown rules that do not make sense, telling you that you can't see your family in London, keeping students locked down in university, and because of that you're locking down a whole city in Manchester, locking down businesses which they're going to go bust throughout the whole of the UK. It's absolute crazy. If you do not make a stand, if you do not push back against these rules in Australia, in Britain, in America, in Canada, throughout the free world, if you do not push back, it's all over. Because the new normal will be the new normal. And the new normal will be, you will never be able, the world will never be the same again. You will never be able to go where you want. You'll never be able to see who you want. And you'll never be able to do what you want in terms of running your business, going shopping. So just think about it. If you want to go shopping in Wales today, parts of the supermarket have been cordoned off and you're not allowed to go shopping in those areas. This is Gulag 1984 communist control. The statistics have been doctored. You look at the statistics in America, statistics in UK, these statistics are not true concerning the COVID deaths. They do not calculate. Many people in America die, most people in America die right about 78 years of age. So when they calculate COVID-19 deaths, it's mainly that age range that have died. But they were going to die anyway, and when they die, they're not calculating the complications that they already had, like heart failure or whatever. So the statistics in America, the main ones in the media, are fake. The same in the UK. Their calculations are not accurate. Then the other question is, when it first came out, we were told that it would only last 3 weeks in the UK. But if we just isolated for 3 weeks, the COVID-19 would be going away. But if this lockdown didn't work the first time, so why are they doing it the second time in UK? It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is that people are being controlled. Being told to wear a mask is a control mechanism, controlling you, getting used to being controlled. In London, you're told you can't even see your family now. It's all about control. It's all about conditioners for the new world order, where we have to get used to the new normal. We have to take their vaccine, and if you don't take their vaccine, you have to do this, you have to do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. They're controlling every private part of our life. And it's now or never, folks. In Britain, you need to mass rally. 2, 3, 5, 10 million people need to be out marching. In Italy, they put a new lockdown, and the Italian people in certain places, Naples and others, they've just said forget it. They've turned up out en masse, and they've disobeyed the government. The governments are going way beyond the democratic mandate. In fact, they're not being democratic. In fact, they're destroying the basic fabric of democracy. They destroyed free speech. You can't talk about, have a different opinion in this situation. They've destroyed the medical profession. Many medical people can't speak out. If they do, they'll lose their jobs. They've undermined the democratic process by making these rules without proper scrutiny from the legislators. This is all across the Western Hemisphere and the free world. And so they've kind of just ditched democracy and thrown it under the bus and doing what they want with insane lockdown rules that do not make sense. And even if you had half a brain, you just think some of this stuff is just ridiculous. So folks, I'm telling you now, you need to start fighting back. You need to start, if you do not stand up for your rights, your democratic rights in Britain, Australia, Canada, America, Germany, France, all across Europe, if you do not, I'm telling you right now, if you do not make a stand and push back against these rules and absolutely ask for your democratic rights, if you do not, by the end of next year, by the end of this year, coming into January, February, you'll be living in a new world order where it's the new norm, the new normal is this kind of life, and it'll be going on year after year after year. And what it is basically the globalists have just taken over and they're ruling now, and they're ruling in a way that has taken away your freedoms, and you're like a little robot wearing your mask, walking in fear, can't go here, can't see my family. In fact, I'll have to snitch on that person because that person went shopping and they shouldn't have gone shopping. And we'll be living in this kind of communistic, globalist, snitching on each other. Have to wear the mask. If you don't wear the mask, you won't, you can't do anything. And if you don't take the vaccine, and this is where we're going, folks. This is where we go, and this isn't me just saying it. Eminent politicians, eminent doctors, eminent virologists, eminent journalists are all beginning to speak out. And at the end of the day, what I'm saying is true, because if this was all real as they make it out to be, why did they encourage the Black Lives Matter riots in America and across the world? Why did they allow Antifa to do the riots with Black Lives Matter? Smashing monuments, smashing businesses, no masks, no social distance. They've encouraged that. It's been going on for weeks and months in UK, these riots, smashing things and attacking people and all the rest of it. And the globalists have not said anything about it. And there was no mask wearing and there was no social distance, but that's allowed to continue. But yet, if you're a church, you can't meet, or if you do meet, you can only meet with certain stipulations. And you'll get fined. Some churches have been fined. Some pastors have been threatened with going to prison, both in America and other states in America. But you can't meet properly as a church, or some states you can't even meet as a church. But yet they'll allow Black Lives Matter to riot and what have you. You know. So unless you protest, unless you march en masse to the British Parliament, and when I mean march en masse, I mean tens of millions of people. The British people, you've got to wake up. This is but a takeover bid. It's simple as that, folks. It's as simple as that. Forget your Covid-19 thing of it. This is this is an assault on democracy. This is what it is all about. It's an absolute assault on democracy. Even if this pandemic was as bad as they make it out to be, it still doesn't give them the right to be doing what they're doing, to telling you who you can meet, who you can't meet, where you can shop, where you can't shop, when you can do your business, when you can't do your business. They don't have the right to do that, even if it was true, but it's not true. This is the biggest con job in history. This is the biggest smash and grab in political history. Globalist history. This is the biggest smash and grab for power and money in history. And you've got to wake up. The British people, you've got to wake up. You're on the verge of being destroyed as a nation. You're being strangled. Where are the people? Who are the people suffering the most in UK? Those who voted for Brexit. They're particularly being punished. They're particularly being punished. Those who voted for Brexit are particularly being punished. Manchester, Liverpool, and all the north cities and towns. They're the ones that are being punished. The Welsh are being punished because they voted for Brexit. Yeah. So this is just payback time by the globalists. They're punishing Britain for trying to leave Europe, and Britain is suffering the most. And the British people want to be kind and obedient to the government, but you are sleeping. You are walking into a totalitarian nightmare. Period. This is going to be the new normal. They keep using the new normal, to condition you to accept the fact that your freedoms have been taken away. So unless the British people rise up pretty soon, you're done. Britain's done. You will not have your freedom ever again. And that's the same round the whole world. Come after Christmas, we'll wake up, and it will never ever be the same again. The world will never ever be the same again. So everybody in Australia has to push back and fight back hard and say, we're not having this anymore. The same in Britain. You've got to fight back and say, we're not having this. Is a do or die. This is my freedom, or it's the end. All this stuff about COVID-19, they're using this as a medical issue to take away your freedom. So you've got to fight back. You've got to fight back. You have to fight back. It's your duty. It's your responsibility to challenge the government, take the governments to court, take the politicians to court, and fight back. Fight back with every tooth and nail, because if you don't fight back, you're going to wake up after Christmas in a new normal, and it will never go away. The world will never be the same again. So everybody who's loved their freedom needs to defend that freedom and needs to stand up and fight. You have to fight every tooth and nail, because this is a fight to the death, folks. This is a fight for the free world. And the free world has gone sleepwalking into a totalitarian nightmare. And if we don't wake up pretty soon, now, by the end of Christmas, it will be all over. We will never go back to what we used to know, the freedoms that we used to know. Going to coffee bars, talking to people, going to pizza, getting the pizza, talking to people, visiting our families, doing the things that we used to do, going to the supermarket, buying what we want. We'll never have that again after Christmas. It will have gone forever, because the globalists would have won. So unless there's pushback now, it's over. So it's got to be now. You've got to make your stand now. Forget the media. The media are lying to you through the back teeth. Forget it. You have to make your stand for your country. Whether you're in France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Belgium, Holland, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in America, any state in America, you have to, as a duty, take it up the challenge to defend your nation's freedom, and you must do it with every ounce of your being. Because if you don't do it now, we'll wake up after Christmas and we'll never go back to what we used to know. I'm encouraging you to revolt against your governments and to challenge your government, because if you do not, you will wake up in the new normal after Christmas. You have walked straight into a totalitarian nightmare, sleepwalking, and many of you didn't see it coming, and you need to wake up. You need to wake up, and wake up fast. Because if you don't wake up fast, it's going to be over. It's got to be now or never. Now is the time to stand. Now is the time to fight. If you don't stand or fight now, it's game over. It's game over. Now or never. It's now, folks. If you don't fight now. This is not me saying. This is eminent people on Sky Australia. Eminent politicians. Eminent people. Eminent people. I mean, I'm talking eminent politicians. Eminent physicians, eminent people on Sky Australia, people on Fox News that have been virologists, eminent doctors, eminent people. Peter Hitchens, Douglas Murray, many people of eminence are beginning to wake up and speak out and say that this is just ridiculous. So, folks, it's now or never. You organise your rallies, you organise your resistance movements in your nations, and you fight back. Because if you don't fight back, I'm telling you, after Christmas, you're going to wake up in a new. This will be the new way. This will just be life the way it is. The new normal. They use that word new normal to condition you to accept that your freedoms have been taken away. They're using COVID-19 as a cloak to take away your freedoms. Yeah? You have to fight for your nation. Whether you're Australian, American, Canadian, French, German, Italian, Belgium, Polish, Hungarian, every single one of you have to rise up and fight for your nations, because we're about to lose our freedom globally. We have woken up. We have sleepwalking into a totalitarian globalist nightmare, and they're aiming to get their way, and there's very little resistance at the moment, and the resistance has to be cranked up tenfold. Let's get some intellectual discussion. Let's get doctors who disagree with other doctors and discuss and dialogue. Let's have some debate and discussion on these issues, rather than people being silenced. So you've got to rise up, and you've got to make your stand right now. Tens of thousands, millions of you have to go out on those streets in Britain and defy the British government and demand your democratic rights. The same goes in Australia, the same goes in Canada, the same goes in America, the same goes in every free democratic country in the world. You have a duty and responsibility to defend those democratic rights, to defend free speech, defend due political process, that things have to go through the political process properly, with proper scrutiny. Not just pushed through quickly, and crazy rules being put down where people's freedoms are being taken away. Please share this video far and